Hello, you're in the broadcast.
I don't know, Michael.
Yeah, can they hear us now?
I can.
Welcome to the show where the throttle stays twisted.
I'm pretty sure everyone else can
Stay
too.
loud. And freedom still means something. This is Throttle and Iron.
Yeah, baby.
Oh boy.
All fired up. Wheels Divided said, yes, we hear you now. I don't know if that's a good
I haven't
thing or
asked
bad
that
thing.
for a while.
Chrome reflecting neon lights. Miles behind us, miles ahead. Living every
I'm pretty sure pretty sure they're not here to hear us. I think they're here to hear the Creative Cruiser.
Absolutely.
everybody carry load. Raise them up like that fire. Fuel the dream.
That's not me. I turned my sound down on my phone.
Yeah, me too.
I slightly hear it. Yeah, it's not me either, Chris.
Yeah, I don't have
yours
any
is on
sound
top.
up.
I can hear yours. Honey,
Wait,
I can hear yours. It's on the map or something.
oh, it's on the map?
Yep.
From the people we know. From the mountains to the coast. It's the riders we love
Sing this on my head.
Honey this time.
Oh, it's your computer.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, you're fired.
Uh-huh.
Oh, don't fire Connie.
You go to the
No.
sound and turn it off on the keyboard.
What'd you have it on for?
It automatically does because it's a live channel on there.
Oh, I bet it's on the background.
Yeah, probably.
on the screen. Chris on the mic, keeping things moving. Talking bikes and life and what keeps us cruising. We're building a community, one rider at a time. Thousands of miles, one
I guess I can invoke chat on this software flag and see if we get this thing. Alright, let's go on screen chat. Start chat. Alright, let's see. Chat is ready. Alrighty. Nice coughing. Alright, looks like we got 2 people here. Let's check them out. Let's see who it is. We got Kevin, Indian 116, Jeffrey Maxwell's in the house, Tim Arnold's in the house. Let's see here. We're gonna have a special
Wheels Divided.
podcast on a Sunday. We're gonna be talking about I think it's what is that place name? Jack Daniel's ride. Yes. Wind Therapy Addict is in the house. Run Seeker Moto is in the house. Thank you for support. Wheels Divided in the house. Thank you for your support. All right. Let's see here. As you guys can see, we got some new members, and we also lost some members. But anyway, we got 6 likes so far, so get them likes going, folks. Oh, looks like Mike Skidmore is in the house. Welcome. Bent Wheel Podcast is in the house. Cedar
Corey.
Key. Yeah, Cedar Key's in the house. Tom Morris is in the house. Man, I'll tell you what, we got a lot of people coming in. Gnar Zeus is in the house. Welcome to. And Rumble and Growl gave out gift memberships already. Holy smokes, this guy is crazy. We're definitely going to be putting a screen just for his restaurant. We're going to make sure it is advertised. We got some secret. I gotta talk to you guys about something. We got a secret with Riding Fish. We're gonna figure out something.
Are we going to Pike's Peak? Oh, I thought we were going to Pike's Peak with him or something.
Yeah. All right. Fox Fires in Geneva, Illinois. Go check them out. It's 4.5 plus stars with 1,000 reviews, man. And it's supposed to be one of the best steaks you can get, man. Go check them out. Fox Fire in Geneva, Illinois. All right. This guy supports us much. We're going to support him too. We will definitely have his logo on our page soon. So hold on a second. I got to get Connie fixed. If you guys want to talk a little bit, because she can't.
I'm looking.
I'm gonna turn her mic off.
Good. Turn
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Connie,
All right.
Well,
Connie Mysterio is
let-
gone.
and they want to blame it on the high school tech guy that we don't have yet. Oh,
Mhm.
bye. Official TNI merch. We've got the hats. We got the Power Club. We got the Flex Fed hat, the 116 Club hat, the 111 Thunder Club hat. So we got all kinds of crap. We got vintage heavyweight T-shirts. Oh my god!
You know,
So
you know,
$34.99 for a hat? Really?
I think Chris does better at announcing the merch. Go to shop.throttleiron.com. That's where you're going to find all the hats, the tees, the
Connie
coffee
Mysterio's
mugs.
over there having a fit. I gotta.
Uh-oh.
say
Yeah.
Yeah, she's over there because I said all you have to do is turn the volume down. That's it. And she gets all upset. Oh my god.
The TNI merch is going crazy here. What the hell?
All right, here we go. Hey, there we go. Finally. All right. Man, I need somebody to be tech here. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. We got the fabulous Christine here, the Aussie. Yeah. She got
Rah
lots of
rah,
stories.
rah rah.
All right.
Thank
well,
you for
guys-
having me all the way from down under. G'day, everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, we've been on here for 45 minutes already. It's been a great talk.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the podcast, and we're going to be discussing Route 66 because she came here on overseas. She didn't bring her bike. I did put that in the post at the beginning. Then I was like, oh, you know what? She's right. She did not bring it. We only rode with her 2 days, I think maybe 3 days. And man, you've had a freaking massive trip. I don't understand. I mean, I watched most of your videos. You was in sand. I mean, you almost drowned. I mean, everything. So, Evil Rick, welcome to the podcast. SCI up, welcome to the podcast. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing. If anybody knows Christine and watched her videos, she's pretty wild. And then we might just hide. We just hide all our screens and just put her at the top.
Yeah.
But
There we
Yeah. Saying that we're scared, that is the absolute truth. We are. We're very frightened.
You just never know. Just never know.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So thank you for having me, everybody. I mean, it's great to be back, and I've got loads of stuff to share with everybody. And yeah, we can talk about Route 66 and all the trouble I got into and the beautiful bikes that I rode. And I do have a day job, everyone. I'm actually at work today in an office because while I am a social media whore, I actually don't earn the money that whores earn on that platform.
Jesus.
So I need to still work. It is a profession, though, that I think is worthy of thinking of because the money you earn on social media is pretty minimal. But anyway, I love doing it. So I love at the moment. That's being a social media whore. I don't do the other stuff, not yet anyway. But, if there's any millionaires out there that fancy some, an Aussie, and if you're nearly dead, I'll take you on. A green card. I don't want anyone hanging around me for too much longer. But if I get some rich American, I can get a green card, come over and keep exploring your wonderful country. And then, just do a little bit of couple of jobs here and there and then knock them off and be there.
Oh, darn. I
You got the best.
I hit finish on the
I don't know
podcast.
anyone.
I'm just kidding.
You have got the best.
It's out of my tax bracket. I wish I
That's
could
right.
help you, but I can't.
No, okay. Well, there might be someone out there that might find someone for me, but I don't want them to live for very long. That's the thing,
Oh my
just
goodness.
long enough to get a signature on a bit of paper for me. But you do.
Oh my goodness.
You do have the most wonderful country to. Yeah, you got your claws up there. That's good. You do have the best country. You're riding over there in your national parks. It's just amazing. So it's always a delight to be in your country. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's built for motorbike riders.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Cool.
Okay, so why don't you take us from the end of the tour? Because I flew out from the end of the tour, and I missed all the shenanigans with everybody going to Durango and splitting off here and riding there.
Well,
so why
hold
don't you pick us up from there?
Well, hold on a second. We want her experience of Route 66. We want to give Ride and Fish his due and the bearded barber.
Yes.
We can't skip that.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
I thought I covered that already. Go ahead.
no, her
Yeah.
experience. Her experience. So what was it like day one? Because I understand you flew in, right, and Ride and Fish picked you up.
yeah, I flew in.
And that was
Flew
a
into
hoot.
Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Riding Fish picked me up and stayed a couple of days, which was great because I, got a chance to acclimatise myself with the jet lag, even though it took. I'm getting so old. The jet lag hangs around for not 2 days anymore. I had it at the beginning quite a bit. So, we went straight from the airport to pick up the bike in, I forget where it was, near Lakeville. And an Indian said to me, Chris, what do you want, a Pursuit, Challenger, or a Roadmaster? And I said, oh, well, I'll take the Roadmaster for a number of reasons. I have a Roadmaster, so I'm used to it. And I'm also not that au fait with the fixed fairing, so I wanted something that I was fairly comfortable with. But, of course, when I rocked up to jump on the Roadmaster, it's nothing like the Roadmaster I have. I have one of the old ones. It's a Power Plus.
Damn right.
Performance.
Yeah.
And,
Thunderstrokes forever.
yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
with
Mr.
you.
Tim
I like
Arnold.
the Thunderstrokes, and I'm lower, and it's a much sort of sturdy. So this weapon of a machine was a little bit intimidating. I did struggle with it at times. Times I hated it. Times I loved it. It was a bit tall for me, and because it holds an extra gallon in the tank, it was a little bit more top heavy than I'm used to. I was tippy-toeing for much of it. It's very responsive. It's like you just got to look at the throttle and she cuts it. At one point, I nearly did a mono. It was that. Phoom. So it took me a little while. It was a bit scary, but anyway, we got on it. Fish led me to the hotel that I booked just down the road. And then we had a little thing at Lakeville in the morning, a couple of days later. And then I thought, well, I had the afternoon free. So I thought I've got to fall in love with this bike because I'm on it for the next 6 weeks. So I just took myself off and explored that area, some river roads and the Mississippi and around that. I had a wonderful ride and just getting used to it, I guess. And, nearly ran out of fuel on the way back. So I thought I'd push myself in all areas of that bike. But as we can talk about, I did find myself in a couple of situations where I dropped the bike all up 4 times. The first 3 times, the first 3 times were just in me just coming out of a parking position. I just put the thing on lock a little bit too much, and you just 1 degree over the apex, and it was so heavy for me. I just couldn't hold it, so I just had to lay it down. No damage to the bike, no damage to me. Had the big engine guards and everything. So, it took a few of us to get it back up. So I sort of I thought I'd learnt my lesson the first time, but obviously I didn't because I still did it 2 more times. And that happened. I think one of the first one was in Chicago on the first night where we did that really like 4 a.m. ride. Were any of you guys on that where we did the city 4 a.m? Yeah.
No.
So
No.
No.
No, because
that
if
was
you're
the
out riding
first
around
time.
at 4 a.m, you're probably going to drop your bike.
Yeah.
It was. I was just in
Yeah,
the car
sweet.
park waiting to go, and it just, as I said, I just turned the lock a bit too hard, and down she came. And then the other 2 times were similar situations, just either leaving a car parking spot, and once just pulling in. I don't know what I did. My footing was just a little bit uneven, and again, I just couldn't hold it because it was heavy. Now I ride heavy bikes, but they're lower, and I find myself a little bit more in control when it's lower. Sure, I can't hold them if they go way over, but I found with the Power Plus, because of the tank being a bit more top heavy, it didn't take much over the apex for me to lose it. And then, of course, there's the infamous one of me in the Joshua Tree National Park where so the story behind that one is, I don't know if anyone knows, but I have written this children's book. And before I came to America, I did a week in Japan. And the book is The Telephone of the Wind. It's based on true events when the tsunami hit Japan in 2011. And it's the way that the Japanese, in particular, their Buddhist belief system deals with grief and loss and things like that. So there was in the north of Japan, there's a telephone booth on a hill that a gentleman put up there because he lost his cousin. And their belief system is that they feel that when people pass away, their spirit goes up and it lives in like a limbo, and they won't go to the next level until they know that all the family and friends are getting on with life and are happy. So just to cut a small story short, this book is about a young boy who lost his dad and convinced his family to visit this telephone, because what they'd do, they'd pick it up. It wasn't plugged in or anything. And they would just talk to their father and say, everything's going well, I'm doing well at school, blah, blah, blah. So he could be happy and look after the others' lives that were lost in the tsunami. And the family, it forces them to get on with their life and deal with grief in a certain way. And that explains a lot about why the Japanese culture is quite stoic. You sort of don't often see a lot of emotion coming from the Japanese culture because they keep a face, they keep a brave face. And they, in a lot of respects, that's come from their belief system of upholding a brave outlook and a brave face for anyone that they've lost so they can move on. Anyway, so I'm in the Joshua Tree, and actually Bearded Bobber's wife said to me, Chris, do you know that there is a wind telephone in the Joshua Tree National Park? I went, oh, I've got a spare book, because what I did in Japan, I found this thing and I gifted the book to the telephone booth and I gifted a book to the owner of the property. So I said, I have one more book with me. I couldn't carry many. I said, I'm going to do the same at the Joshua Tree. I will gift a book and leave a little note, and it's there for people to look at. And so I found it on the map. I went to the visitor centre and I said, I'm here, I want to find the wind telephone. And they'd never heard of it. So it was a great session because they were saying, God, we're learning something about our own area from an Australian that's visiting, and we found it on the map. And I said, well, that looks fine, those roads. I said, I came in that way, but I noticed those roads were dirt roads. I said, I'm on a big bike. You know, it's a little bit of a job for me to manage. I don't want anything too tricky. They go, no, it's solid. I said, if it's solid dirt, I'm fine. It's solid all the way. So I get on and I'm in about 100 metres into that road, and it was solid. And then it turned to about a foot of sand. And I don't know if anyone's tried to ride those bikes in sand. And I'm fishtailing along, and I just knew it's going to go down. And for the first time ever, I had my cameras rolling. I don't normally have that rolling when I drop bikes. So, and this is how desperate we are for content. When I laid it down, I slow motioned it all in the video. People can see it. I did such a graceful dismount. I looked like a bit of a ballerina, actually, very ladylike. And the first thing I thought of when I got up, I go, oh my God, I got all that on camera. How fantastic. But then I had to think, well, holy shit, I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's 110 degrees. I looked around, there was nothing about. I think I saw a house up in the hill. So I left the bike half buried in the sand and walked to these homes, and the majority of them were empty. They were like Airbnb homes. But I saw one they were about a mile away. I saw one with a car in the drive. So I went and knocked on the door, and it was, we've lost Max.
Yeah, Max.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The
I
lights
don't know
out?
what happened. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep, now we can hear you. Just can't see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened to my camera. Oh, well, let me log out and come back in. Go ahead, Christine. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
I'll keep going. Yeah. And I knocked on the door, and it was it was a Chinese gentleman and his daughter that were visiting. They couldn't speak any English. Anyway, I somehow, with sign language and everything, convinced them that I wasn't an axe murderer coming to kill them. A mile down the road, I dropped my bike and finally got it through, and they drove me back to the bike. And on the way back, I saw a delivery driver was parked there, and he's looking around thinking, who the hell owns this big, massive bike? And there, Max is back. Anyway, I'm yelling out the window, don't go any, stay where you are, that's my bike. And between the delivery driver, the father and his daughter, and they're tiny people, and myself, we managed to dig the bike out of the sand and push it back to the solid track. And then I got out of there. I gave the book to the daughter in the end. I go, and she goes, I'm sure she didn't know what was happening. I go,
Wow.
take this bloody book because I'm not going to find this wind telephone. So that was the fourth and final drop I did of the bike, and that was the most dramatic one that I did in the sand. And you can see it on my pages and Instagram. There's little reels of it. It's very, it's a beautiful dismount. I've had many compliments at just how I managed that.
So my understanding, and I've never seen this before, but it's literally an old-fashioned telephone booth, right? That's just in the middle of the desert. That actually works.
No, it doesn't work. They don't work. It's that.
Okay.
No, the one in Japan, I think, was one of the ones that started it, and a lot of people got onto it. So people that have lost someone. So apparently, the story behind the one in the Joshua Tree is that this couple lost two of their children, and I don't know what circumstances they lost them in, but they built a telephone out there to be able to talk to their children and anyone else who's got someone that they want to talk to. So the concept behind this, and apparently the more research I've done, apparently there's a few wind telephones around the world where people have put them up as a way for people to manage their grief. And I think it's a beautiful story. And shameless plug, my book is on Amazon. It's a children's, I've illustrated it myself and written it myself. It was originally a play. I wrote a play and it was too hard to get it up. So I just turned that into a little illustrated children's book that a lot of adults are getting a lot from it, and people are buying it for their grandkids, or people buy it to donate to the school, for instance, or to their local library, because it is a beautiful, it sounds sad, and it is a little bit sad, but it's heartwarming also at the end, because it just talks about how to manage grief and hope and a way to look at loss, I guess. God, that's so serious of me. Let's get on to the fun stuff again.
So what's the name of your book?
It's called The Telephone of the Wind, and it's just on Amazon, anyone around the world. The Telephone of the Wind by Christine Fisher-Keeble. You'll find it on Amazon. And any support is appreciated. It's a lot of people our age and that are buying it for their grandkids or buying it to donate to the local
I can't believe it
library.
only got 1 star. Jeez. I'm just kidding.
No, it should
It's got
have
5
5.
stars. It's got 5 stars. It looks like it's got a bunch of it says right here from Christine Fisher Keeble. It's international edition. You got an international. You got you got all kinds of them.
Because it's a bit of a learning curve, this Amazon stuff. It's taken me a while to get the formatting right. It's been a fucking nightmare actually, but in Asia it was a square book, but in Asia and maybe some other countries, they can't print square. They can only print portrait, like A4. So I had to do another version. And I don't want to delete the square version because that's the one that's got the reviews. So they're same. One's a bit more square and one's a bit more oblong, but the same.
I just put a big link in there.
Well, thank you for allowing me to do that shameless plug.
It was shameless.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's in English and Japanese as well.
Yes.
So my daughter lives in Tokyo, so she transcribed all that part for me as well.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool as hell. All right. So, anything else that happened on the Route 66 before we're gonna move on, or what?
Well, it was fabulous. I mean, I had done parts of Route 66 a couple of times before, so this was my 5th trip to America, but this was the first time I've done it from Chicago to Santa Monica, all the track. I mean, obviously everyone knows there are parts where you've got to get on the interstate and get back on because the route doesn't exist anymore or it's washed away. I think there might have been one bit of a moment where, no, I think I even did it. That's right, because I rode with different groups of people all the time, if not by myself. So I latched on. At first, obviously, it was with Riding Fish and that mob, and he is fast and too fast for me. So I ditched those guys. I go, you off you go. I'm not going with you. And then I hooked up with there was Canadians. There was a Canadian group.
Yes.
I rode with them, and I rode with them on probably the worst the worst day's weather that we had into Oklahoma, I believe, to that gasoline alley where it pissed down rain like it was awful. So that was the day I was actually thinking, I'm not going to do routes. I'm just going to get there because it's just awful weather. But as I rode with the Canadians, they actually did the whole route. So I ended up doing it in that awful weather, which was a shame because I couldn't get my cameras working. Everything was getting waterlogged. So I missed a lot of footage on that day. And they were quite speed demons as well. And then I ditched those guys. Then I found there was a group where there was couples. So there was the husband and the wife on the back. And I rode with those guys for a day or two. I forget what leg it was. And they were very steady and very slow. And so if we're talking about, the three bears, the Goldilocks story, there was too fast and then there was a bit too slow. So I had to find my tribe somewhere in the middle, and I found it with the two. I called them the two Daves. They were fantastic. They had the special app that you download, and they were perfect for me. They rode at the right speed for me. They stopped at every point that was of interest. They wanted to take pictures. They weren't in a hurry, and they'd leave nice and early, so they didn't hang around either. So if there was a dealership visit, they'd go in, they'd get their T-shirt, shake a few hands, kiss a few babies, and they'd get out of there. And that sort of shit suits me as well. I just didn't want to hang around all morning when I felt like I wanted to get going, because I also like to get in at a reasonable time because, as some of you may all know, I film all day, but I edit all night and I upload on the day. So you're as close to real time on my adventures as you can be. So I like to get in by about 3 or 4, start downloading the footage, grab a bite to eat and have a drink, and then get back to my room and spend the next 4 hours editing and then upload to YouTube. Because people most of my followers know that I do that, so they're all waiting for that what happened today sort of stuff. In fact, I have saved marriages. I know this for a fact because when I did the Europe trip, I couldn't get Wi-Fi. I was somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And so I didn't upload that day's footage. And I wake up to this message from this guy and says, Chris, are you okay? And if you're okay, why haven't you uploaded your episode? Because I get home from work, I have dinner with my wife, we hardly say a word to each other. I get a beer, she gets a wine, we go into the lounge room and we put your episode on for that day. And that's the only thing we share. So if there's no episode, I've got fucking nothing to talk to this woman about, and I need you to upload it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Did you ever think about just becoming a stand-up comedian? I mean, seriously, I think you could do a good job. You might be one of the most popular ones. You're pretty darn good. You're pretty funny.
Those jokes, yeah. Well, I think it's that Aussie larrikin humour. I think I've just inherited. I have that in my DNA.
Well, I don't know if it's like jokes. It's just like stories that are funny as hell, and the way you do them.
Oh, yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
So I found the two Daves and I rode with them for a number of days. And then we were coming into Oatman.
Mm.
And what a fabulous, an amazing ride that was. And I'm loving the bike. Don't get me, I'm loving it. But the trickier, more technical the ride is, the more focused I've got to be, because it's great. It was wonderful. And the donkeys. Anyway, the two Daves said, we're just going down a bit further because there's restrooms down there. I go, no worries. And at the same time, riding fish, and I think some of the Canadians, anyway, the fast ones that I dumped ages ago, they turn up and I'm just chatting to them. And they go. And so I roll down the hill to find the two Daves, and I can't find them. They're gone. So I'm then looking around thinking, oh, fuck, I'm on my own. So I decided, I knew what the next stop was. I had no reception, so I had no maps or anything. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to follow the signs, and hopefully I'll find my way to the next stop or get reception so I can log in and see where everyone's going to meet. Anyway, I don't know what the friggin' hell I did, but, you come to that fork in the road. What do they say? Always take the left. Is that what they say? Always take the fucking left. But what did I do? I took the right. And I ended up, I don't know where the fuck I ended up. Navajo country, some desert, over some mountains, in the middle of nowhere, like nobody's about. And I've got no reception. It's 110 degrees. And I don't know where the friggin' hell we're going. But what it gets worse, so I'm looking at my fuel gauge. I'm thinking, oh, shit, that's getting low. Anyway, the light had come on. The middle of, I'm thinking, I'm really shitting myself at this stage. And I see a bike rider coming ahead of me, and I stop the bike and I'm waving him to stop. I mean, I just wanted to know a couple of things. Am I anywhere near a fuel stop? Where the fuck am I? And if it's not far, could you at least follow me if in case I do break down? But anyway, he was a guy on some chopper Harley Davidson thing. I think he was off his tree. He was either stoned or mental or an escaped convict. And he just pulls up. He looks at me, and I think because of my accent too, he probably think, "What the hell? What?" And I'm going. He said, blah, 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 blah. And he just sort of looked at me and took off. He just said, "No, don't know," and took off. I think he was more scared than you guys are of this podcast. He just bolted. Anyway, I kept going, and I saw like big industrial stuff up ahead, and I figured, oh shit, there's got to be something there. And I went up, and I found it was a big diner. God, I'm forgetting all the areas. It's a big diner that was there in the middle of nowhere. And all the Indian riders were there on one side, and underneath where the shop is, and there's fuel bowsers there. But the fuel bowsers looked old and rusty. They looked like they were just ornamental ones, like just as part of a show. And just before I got there, I saw all these Harley Davidsons, like this big tour group from Eagle Rider. You know, they hire all these bikes, pulled in under the shade. And I'm going on fumes at this point. I sort of roll in, and these guys help push the bike. I go, are these bowsers actually functional? Are they working? And one bloke said, no, they're just like old time Americana shit. And I go, oh, for fuck's sake! And then I'm going to have to find fuel. Anyway, someone then said, no, that one at the end, there's one that works. So I go up there. It's all locked up. So I go into the shop, and there's this one guy behind the desk, and I said, mate, I'm out of fuel. Can you unlock the thing for me? He goes, no, I've got to do it. I went, oh, okay. But he had a lineup of people buying merchandise, T-shirts, friggin' ice creams, drinks, because it was so hot. The lineup went out the door. He says, you're going to have to wait for me to serve all these people. I go, oh, shit, really? So I'm looking at all these. So the line gets right down, and I'm looking at him with these puppy dog eyes saying, please, for the love of God, come and give me some fuel. And mind you, the fuel, I think, must have been $10 a gallon, and I would have paid $20 because I was desperate. And by this stage, the Indian riders have packed up and gone, and I've got all these bloody Harley riders. And then I was just about to get this guy to leave behind the counter to come and give me fuel. And then someone bloody walks in to buy an ice cream, and I look at him, I go, for fuck's sake, mate, just wait for your ice cream. The fuel is more important than an ice cream. Anyway, $50 later, I get some fuel, and as it turns out, I'm only maybe 12 miles from a major service station and the whole thing. And I get there, and I see the other Indian riders fueling up, because obviously they gave up at that place. And anyway, I decided to keep travelling on my own at that point. I go, stuff you Daves, you left me. Mind you, I caught up with them again, and they were so apologetic. And they still, to this day, I get the odd, if I post something about the trip, they go, we are so sorry. They thought I'd ridden off with Riding Fish and the others, and Riding Fish thought I was with the Daves. So, but that's okay, because I am a solo rider, so it just put me to the test a bit. And I do enjoy being out there on my own. It was just, I was a bit scared because I had no phone reception or no fuel. And, I could have, an axe murderer may have come along, or
You would have killed them.
What was the hitchhiker
Right.
in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hitchhiker
Yeah.
or something like that in Australia. The
Well,
silver killer?
yeah, we have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a movie called Wolf Creek.
Oh yeah,
which
Wolf
is,
Creek. Yeah, that's a
Which
scary
is
movie.
it's sort of loosely based on this guy out here that did that. So hitchhikers. It's a combination of a couple of serial killers we have. So they sort of join these things together. But Australia's famous for a guy. Well, not as famous. This guy called Ivan Milat, who was on a murdering spree with hitchhikers for many, many years. In fact, he's only been charged with 7 of those murders, but most 99% of the population believe that he's responsible for probably another 100 plus of missing people. Yeah. And he just recently died in prison. And he never gave up. He never told, he never put anything to rest, the prick, I would have, yeah. So anyway, I was always conscious of being in the middle of nowhere and meeting up with an Ivan Milat, an American version. And
Yeah, as long as he's really old, able
Yeah,
to
oh,
sign
yeah,
some
yeah,
papers.
Yeah.
Because I think you probably win on that one.
I know how to kill the old ones, don't worry. And it's not violent.
Okay.
I just sort of,
2 things. Number 1, keep in mind 8:29 before the first F-bomb.
8:29.
I think we violated that.
Yeah,
I think
I
I
think we
counted it.
skated
There's like
by on that one.
110 right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Number 2, Chris.
I
Chris, I
move
knew
into
exactly
PG
where
mode.
you were. I knew exactly where you were. I had lost track of you because I was the only one still on the trip out of the 3 of us. I was the only one still on the trip at
Okay.
that point.
Yeah.
But I know where you're talking about, in the middle of the damn desert with all these
Yep.
Russian-speaking Harley riders who wanted ice
Yes.
cream.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I
and
know.
it's
That's
like-
the place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
I wanted to
okay.
stab them.
It's like I walked into that store, I saw these people, and I'd immediately turn around and walk right back out.
Yeah.
I would rather stay and got sunstroke than sit there and listen to them talk about Russian.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk
Exactly
in
right.
Russian.
And
It was insanity.
Yeah, I know. And I would have
Yeah,
done
it was
the
by
same
Joshua
overnight.
Tree. Yeah, it was by Joshua
Yeah,
Tree.
and it was outside of Oatman. I'd left Oatman. That's when I'd lost
Yes,
everybody.
it's the
And
other side of
whatever that-
Oakland. Yes.
Yeah, before the Joshua Tree, because it was after that I went to the Joshua Tree. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
continued
Good.
my little adventures on my own, and in sand and all that sort of
So-
stuff.
I don't want to mention
Yeah.
the name, but did you ever go to I'm gonna have to the largest gas station in the United States? Did you go to the Buc-ee's?
Yeah, I
you-
did.
what'd you think
And
about that?
I went there because of the Daves. The Daves, I called them Dave 1 and Dave 2. Dave 1 said, "You've got to go to a Buc-ee's. It is bloody amazing. It's out of this world. We don't see anything like this in Australia, but there was like 100 odd Bowsers for a start. And then you go into the complex, and they're cooking brisket, and they're singing and they're yelling out, and it was incredible. It was like, we don't have it. I can't even compare it to anything like this, but it's whatever it is, it's on steroids 10 times over. It's massive. I loved it. I didn't get anything, but I loved it.
You didn't get a shirt?
No, I just couldn't fit shit in, like I'm one of these people that don't buy t-shirts and stuff because I'm just traveling, and I'm I've got a little bag, and I mean I am wearing a t-shirt now, part of my event, which we can talk about, that's coming up in November, which I'd love to see you guys at, but I know we're such a long way away.
With all that that whore money you're making, you might be able to.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I could sponsor Throttle and Iron, sponsored by the Australian Whore.
Australian.
Oh, my
Airlines
Oh,
flying in.
so-
Oh, geez.
Oh my goodness.
my goodness.
All right. A couple things, folks. We are doing some polls, and it's if you go to throttleandiron.com/live, there you can actually click on and say what you want to. Congratulations. I got a couple people on there, but click on the polls right there. And as you can see right now, we got where should she ride next in America? And most people said Tell the Dragon so far. We got 3 votes in. And then Blue Ridge Parkway would be pretty close there, so that'd be a 1-day ride, right there. That'd be awesome.
I've done them all.
Oh, you've done them
I've
all.
ridden, yeah. I reckon I've ridden probably more of America than a lot of Americans. So remember, I've had 5 trips to the States.
Okay.
The one I was in before this one, 2.5 years ago, I shipped my bike and I did 3 months of riding, and I covered all the signature rides, as many national parks as I could. So I did Tail of the Dragon both ways. I've done Blue Ridge Parkway. I've done Going to the Sun Road, $1 Million Highway. I've done roads. I've done the most amazing rides. It's fabulous. But there are plans for me to come back. And so
batten down the hatches.
batten down the hatches.
Have you done Sturgis?
Yes, so I've been approached by a guy out here that does tours. He started his company actually in 2020, and he never got it going because of COVID. What was that?
I said a very old guy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's not rich enough for me to go for.
Oh shit! You're not going to be invited now. I'm just kidding.
So he started this business, but COVID came, so it's been on the back burner. Anyway, he has done a couple of tours. So he approached me a couple of weeks ago and said, Chris, I was going to get my son to come in with me, but he's now gotten busy and family and the whole things. And he said, I reckon you'd be great if you're interested. And I go, I'm always interested. And so he wants to bring 20 Australians over and leave from Las Vegas and finish in Las Vegas. And I've already written to India and saying, have you guys got up your hiring strategy yet? Because I know at one stage India were looking at doing hire bikes a couple of years ago, but that was before the new company took over. So I don't know if that was still in their plans. I believe it's just shelved at the moment. So the only place you can hire bikes, like cruisers of people that are into that sort of thing, is Eagle Rider, and they're owned by Harley, so they're all Harley. So I've written to Nick at Indian, who was fantastic, and again, a big shout out and thanks to Nick and Mike and the whole team for looking after me with that beautiful Roadmaster. Nick said to me, Chris, when you come back, let us know and we'll see what we can do for you. So I've written to Nick and said, look, I've been invited to do this. The only place to hire these bikes is Eagle Rider, but how's this for an idea? You give me a beautiful Indian, and these are only 2-week adventures, so not too. You give me one of your press bikes for 2 weeks, and each day I will swap out. I'll get one of the Eagle Rider Harley riders to try out the Indian for a couple of hours on a reasonably easy stretch of road, so nothing too. And I can interview them and talk about the differences that they find, good, bad, and whatever, just all very authentic. And I think it'd be a great way to introduce non-Indian riders into what it's like to perhaps try an Indian and just be that lone Indian amongst all those cowboys, especially if they're rich and billionaires and,
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's it. That's getting worked on now. So, we've already got about 10 people that have put their hand up for the trip. So that could be a reality situation. So it could very well be at Sturgis next year as hosting a tour of other Aussies. And but I think Sturgis really struggled this year from what I've been reading and seeing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's all lies.
Is it?
I don't think that they really struggled as much. Maybe the attendance wasn't as good as it has been.
Exactly.
But the vendors were saying it was. The vendors said they were just as much sales they had last year almost. So.
Oh, good.
And then people that were there might have spent money, but the city of Sturgis has released the figures. Yeah. It's 15% less attendance than it was last year. Now, last year was 5th anniversary. Yeah. Which 5th anniversaries and 10th anniversaries are the ones when the 5,750,000 people show up.
Yeah,
but it was down even from the last 10th. So I don't know.
I think it was just right, man. But we discovered something last night, and I know this is going to go off topic here for a second. But price gouging is a thing. A lot of
Of course
places that
it
you can,
is.
a lot of places you can already get some of these places, or rent them right now, and they're already in the $6,000 when they
Yeah.
were 4,000 3 years ago. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and it's, yeah, go ahead.
I looked at a place that we stayed at in 2024. It was $5,000, but you can get 12 people in this thing, right? When I looked at it for Sturgis next year, it's $6,849 before tax and fees. By the time you put everything on, it's over $7,000
Yeah.
for the week, Saturday to Saturday. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I've got to say, I mean, as like I produce events and everything like that and going to these things, sometimes it's better to have more quality people that are prepared to pay. And I mean, there's nothing wrong in business with upping your prices and making hay while the sun shines. That's what business is about. I mean, that's what it's about. That's how life works, and they've got to make money. And I mean, I just recently did a conference, and the numbers were down, like Sturgis, but the quality of attendees was much better. You know, they weren't tire kickers; they were actually purchasing and getting involved. And just hearing that Indians sold just as many bikes is sort of like proving the point, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, this is my first year at Sturgis, and you've been there before. Was you at the event, or you just went through Sturgis?
Well, the last time I was here,
Mhm.
I did 10 days at Sturgis, which for me is too much.
Okay.
Now, the reason I was there for 10 days because I was booked for some appearances,
Okay.
and they were all gapped out. To me, the best way to do Sturgis is get there a week earlier and do the Black Hills before the crowds come in.
Yeah.
Go to Sturgis 1 or 2, 3 days max, because what you see day one is pretty much what you see day 3.
Yep.
And then get out of there. Now, I'm also not a night party person that goes to watch the bands and things. So Leonard Skinner and all those, metalheads and whatever they have on at night, doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in bars where the girls have got their tits out and they're doing all that sort of shit. That's not my scene. You see enough in the street during the day, and I love seeing it, but I've seen it. It's like been there, done that. So my advice to anyone doing Sturgis would be get there before the crowds, and because the riding around the Black Hills, it's magnificent. Like that's what to me is the highlight of Sturgis is all those signature rides. Go to the festival, a couple of days, so you get the vibe, you get the idea of what it's about. You buy your trinkets and your shit, and then get on out of there and start making your way to the next wonderful national park or road and stuff. I mean, when we get to the point, I'm going to tell you the best road I've ever ridden on. Could be America, but certainly that last trip, the best ride I did was astounding.
Yeah,
Do you want me to talk about it now?
People were asking. Well, let me break in here for a second. All right, folks, if you're new to the podcast, you know what to do. Hit the bell icon. Also subscribe. Also like this podcast so it gets it up into the algorithm, all that good stuff. Now, to talk about Sturgis, one more thing. I think for my first trip there, I think it was perfect. I mean, it literally was. It wasn't. You were able to get through town pretty easy. Yes, there were 1,000 bikes in the center. Indian and Harley were packed out. That kind of stuff. When we went to Full Throttle, it was freaking packed. I mean, there was a lot of people there. I thought it was like normal kind of routine thing. But on our way there on Saturday, and I mentioned this a couple times to Les, holy cow, there were so many bikes riding out. Like the first week is becoming really popular. So I don't know if they're counting the actual, it's a 2-week event now, really. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. And so I think it's more spread out because people don't like the crowds. And eventually, I think, I mean, because there was a lot of people there that said this was the first time they've ever been there. And so I'm thinking, wow, maybe one day it might be even 3 weeks. It's crazy. But last year, this year, it was a week later than it normally is. So a lot of schools were already started. A lot of people were saying, and that they couldn't make it out there because of that. So, yeah. All right, let's go to the next story. What you were going to say?
Well, I just, I mean, Route 66 was wonderful, and I did it all. And then I rode on, and I met a lovely lady. Her name was Chris. She rode with me for a bit as well, because I needed to make my way to Salt Lake City to do the Bonneville Salt Flats, which I'd never been to before. So I tried to capture outside of the Legends Never Die tour, I then planned another 3 weeks. And then obviously I had Durango rendezvous in that. I tried to ride places that I hadn't ridden before. And Chris, she joined me for 4 or 5 days after Route 66. No, sorry, after Durango. We left after Durango. Anyway, I then left. That's right. Route 66 finished. I went to Palm Springs and made my way to Colorado, where I reconvened with the Durango Rendezvous people. Had a wonderful 4 days there. And that's where I left the Roadmaster in the parking lot and saw, the demo daddy guy, Pat. And he gave me a scout for 2 days. And can I tell you how much fun I had on that bloody thing? They are the best. And it was to the point where I actually said, can I now take this scout for the rest of the trip? I don't want the Roadmaster. But on reflection, I'm glad that they couldn't do that, because to take a scout out of the truck, the puzzle doesn't work for a Roadmaster to go back in that space, right? But anyway, the reason I love the scout is I went down tracks. I saw a road. I'd go exploring. I saw a road. If there's a bit of gravel, didn't worry me. Or if I stopped somewhere to get a picture, gravel turn-offs, didn't worry me, because it was so nimble and so easy. But on the Roadmaster, I stopped myself doing that because I was worried that, one, I was going to get down there and I might not be able to turn it around in the gravel, and I'll drop it. I'm on my own. So I had 2 fantastic days exploring all around there, the Chimney Peak, the Chimney Mountains, and there's a national park there, the Mesa Verde National Park. I did all that on the Scout, and honest to God, I think I had the best time. But the best ride I had was Chris took me. I went to around Monument Valley. I met up with her again. We split, met up with her again, and went from Blanding. Now, if none of the people listening have done this, the 95 from Blanding to Hanksville onto Tory. So it's sort of like Capitol Reef area. And it was sublime. Hardly anyone on the road. It's practically empty the whole time. Big, beautiful sweepers, big rocky canyons, rivers, outlooks. I remember I stopped and I said to Chris, I think I'm going to have to vote that the best ride I've ever done in America, hands down. So the 95, I'm sure you guys might know it from Arizona, the Blanding. You take the 95 to Hanksville and then on to Torrey into Utah. It's exceptional.
Wow.
I dream about
I
it.
saw that video, right? Yeah, I saw that video. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that was probably my highlight ride. I had so many, mind you. After that, I ended up meeting up with the Indian Ladies First mob at Utah, and they took me to the Bonneville Salt Flats. So I got my picture on there and did all that. And after that, I was on my own again, and I had to get over to the Black Hills. And this is where the Roadmaster comes into its own, because I had to cross from Utah across Wyoming into South Dakota. Now that's a long stretch of bloody nothing. There's not much happening out there. And I'm sitting on, like, I'm going fast. When I'm on my own on those straight rides, I'm sort of metal to the pedal. And I thought then, I go, man, I'm so glad I'm on this bike, because it just ate those miles up. It was comfortable. It was just beautiful. Now, doing that ride on a little bike, I think would have been a struggle. So I was very grateful for the Roadmaster then, and many other times as well, I must say. But those little exploration days, having that little Scout, I had some fun. It made me sort of rethink what my future motorbike riding looks like for a woman that's like, I'm 67. So I have come back, and I don't know if you know, I have sold my Roadmaster, and I've still got Calamity, the Vintage Chief, the 2016 Vintage Chief. Now she's getting a sidecar project done on her. It's a prototype articulated sidecar. So the bike still rides like a motorbike. I can still lean into corners. Not that I'm not a peg scraper. I'm a very cautious. I don't take risks. I'm an old cruiser. That's why I have cruisers, because I just like to chug along, look at the scenery, and be that person. I'm not a speed demon. It's not about getting somewhere faster and quicker and taking risks. That's not what I'm about. So this sidecar project, and it's been christened Sideshow Bob, is being built right now, and I pick them up in about 4 weeks, and then I will be practicing on that and seeing what it's like. But that's the reason I've done that is because Calamity has become a show bike now, and she's getting booked for festivals, motorbike festivals, and steampunk festivals and other things. Because I go there, I set up, I tell stories, and it's the whole thing with the bike and everything. So I figured, why not just make her even more crazy? So let's add a sidecar. Let me steampunk it up. It's a combination of Mad Max, dead animals flying off it, crazy. It's going to look wild. I did send you a picture.
I'm getting it right now. Yeah,
and that will be unveiled in about 4 weeks at a steampunk festival. I just hope it all works, because it's the gentleman that's engineering it has done many of these articulated things, but this is the first time he's worked on a big cruiser. So there's some alterations and stuff that he's doing to create this prototype, because he actually wants to do it. There we go. That's my inspiration there. There's a lot of friggin' copper bolts to be purchased. I know that. But I just think it's going to add another element to my adventures as well. You know, like, can you picture in there some old billionaire just sitting in there, and I go around the corners, and I might be lucky enough where he has a heart attack in the middle of the ride, and I can dig a hole, bury him, get him to sign that bit of paper before he has to sign a waiver before he gets in.
All right. Well, Christine, we got a couple of people in the chat. They want to get to know you a little bit better. Let me see if I can get this guy in here. This guy is Rick. He's a multi-millionaire. He wanted to know if he could hook up with you.
Oh my goodness!
And, there's a couple other ones also. Let me see. This guy. This guy right here.
My God.
He owns a boat in Cindy. His name is Jack, and he's
okay.
He's looking
you know
for
what's
marriage.
wrong with? Yeah, okay. Can I tell you what's wrong with these guys? I'll tell you what's wrong with these guys. They're the right age.
They're still alive. They're still alive. I'm just kidding.
Still alive. They look a little bit too healthy. They look a little bit too
Oh
healthy.
my goodness.
But can I tell you what these guys want? They don't want 67-year-old. They're not going down on the 67-year-old. Let me tell you that. They don't want women like me. They want little bloody young 30-year-olds. I'm telling you, I can tell by the look of them. No, you got to. I'll do a post of what, you know. Think Stephen Hawkins, maybe, you know, like someone.
Oh my goodness.
Gee,
Oh my gosh.
Willikers, good God Almighty!
We have went downhill. My goodness. You know, Chris, you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you say on here, because this could be construed as premeditated. If something would ever happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I gotta admit that all them characters that I showed were all AI created.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no, but there are men out there that look like that. They are. They're all on the hunt, let me tell you. But they're not on the hunt for this 67-year-old woman. I'll tell you that right now. They're on the hunt for some young bimbo that will, you know, perform beautifully for them 24/7. Until the blue pills run out, of course.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next story here.
Moving right
Oh
along.
my
So
goodness! Yeah, moving.
We got your number one road, right? You can't remember what it was named, though, right? So, but the
number one road I did in the last trip.
No, in America. What was your favorite road
In America.
Yeah.
Well, on the last trip was that 95 from Blanding to Hanksville to Torrey into Utah, from the Monument Valley area. That's Arizona and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts at Blanding, and it's called the 95. And everyone needs to do that because it's phenomenal.
Now, did you do the $1 million highway?
Yeah, I did that the time before. That was good, but I still think this 95 beats that, really.
Have you done Pikes
But
Peak?
mind you, I've done Pikes Peak. Yeah, I lost my back. I've done Pikes Peak 3 times now, and the last time I lost my back brakes coming down. And the irony of that
Ouch.
one, the irony of that one was, there's a guy that tests your brakes coming down.
Mhm.
So I'm filming and I'm having a chat to him. I go, yeah, test your brakes, and he did whatever they do with that tool. He goes, yeah, you're good to go, love. And I think it was like 30 seconds after I left him, my foot just went straight down. No back brakes whatsoever.
Wow.
And I sort of got down. I pumped it. They had water in them, as it turns out, because I went to the Pikes Peak Indian that day and go, this is what happened. And they fixed it. But there was moisture in there. That's what it got.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hey, Christine, these guys, they're persistent. They gave me some updated pictures, and they thought maybe this might work.
Oh, will you please stop? Good God.
Oh, yeah, no, it's getting better. He's got crutches, so it's getting better. Yeah,
My
it's getting
God.
better. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
All right, we're having some fun here. All right. Somebody said that Body Snatcher, which is up in age, but he's still in very good. He's in the chat right now. They keep on saying he is single. So
Okay. Yeah, single's one thing, but,
I heard he's got
what's
some
the-
money too.
what's-
So I heard he got some money.
Okay, I'm in. Okay, hook me up. That's all I need to know.
All right.
Oh,
So
gosh.
what Max was leading to earlier is you got done. You went to different places. How long did your trip last? How many people did you
I was-
get to taste that stuff? And did you get
Okay,
paid
yep.
finally?
No, I don't. No, I don't get paid. I mean, on YouTube, when I do adventures, my YouTube thing goes up, so I get a little bit more money.
Okay.
I think, I think that whole trip I might have earned about $1,200 from YouTube, but nothing like what I spend. I mean, I spent probably 20 odd thousand with fuel and accommodation. In one of the last videos I do a bit of a breakup of what I spent. I mean, thankfully I didn't have to hire a bike, and Indian were gracious enough to loan me a press bike. Without the press bike, I couldn't have afforded to do that trip, because hiring bikes now, you're looking at $300 or $400 a day. So that when you're there for 6 weeks, we're talking $15,000, $20,000. I couldn't have done it without Indian. But I pay, airfares, accommodation, food, all of that is I pay for, which is why I'm working a day job through the week in an office that funds all that sort of stuff. But I make a tiny little bit out of social medias, I think. But like, for instance, I could show you what I earned this month on YouTube, and because I'm not on an adventure, so I'm not pushing out a lot of content. But I can show you this
you're
month.
good. You don't have to tell us.
$121 for the month. That's it.
Wow.
So,
Don't
you
spend it
can't-
all in one place.
No, that's it. So, but look, if it's a real catch-22, this social media sort of being this sort of stuff. Now, if I was younger, I would be approaching it a bit like Her Two Wheels, Jess.
Mhm.
Are you guys familiar with that lady?
Yep.
She's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Very,
You know, she-
very.
She's great. So she gave up a corporate job, I don't know, in her 30s. And because she explained she did one video that it blew up, it went viral, one of her solo camping things. And she got like 20,
Yes.
30,000 subscribers from that. So she made the decision. She goes, right, if I've got the time and can create good content and be consistent twice a week, she gives up her corporate job. She invests the time into but she was already at, say, 20 odd thousand. So there was a smaller bit of money coming in. Now she's sitting at, I don't know, she's over 100. I don't know what she is now, but she's making money, and she can commit the time to create content. She can push out a video every Wednesday and Sunday, whatever it is, and she earns good coin. And you get people like Itchy Boots, who's got nearly 3 million subscribers. Now she would be earning 500,000 to 800,000 a year. Now, when you can earn that sort of money, you're freed up. That's your sole focus in life, is to create content and earn money. So I'm at that awkward situation where, being in Australia, we don't have a population over here, anything like America. So it's very difficult to grow subscribers because my initial audience is small. And I'm not even at 10,000 subscribers. So what I make is chicken feed. But I can't take the risk at my age, looking after the people that I look after, is to give up my day job and commit 6 months of full-time content creating to try and grow it to a point that it might earn me a bit of coin. It's too much of a risk, and I don't have the time, and I don't know if the future is with old Sheilas like myself. I mean, I don't know how much people find my stuff interesting. You know, my stuff is like a vlog diary. I just talk about the day that goes on and who I meet and the places I go to and what adventures all my stuff. There's one thing I try and get out of the stuff that I put up is what is someone going to learn from this video? What's one thing that you can learn? If it's something about an Australian animal, is it something about this road or this town, or this is where Ivan Milat killed someone, or this is where Chris lost her virginity, which is, by the way, is on the 10th hole of the Leonay golf course. When I was, I don't know that I was even 16 at the time. Anyway, so
Oh my goodness.
I just want out of my stuff, if there's one thing you can learn, then I feel my job's done. I just want people to discover stuff with me. And I like every adventure I go on, I want to learn something. So I go out of my way to ask questions, to meet people, to Google search what went on in this town. You know, one day I'll take a trip to
I'm thinking of
my
some follow-up
hometown.
questions.
One day
I will never go golfing again. Ever.
I was saying that guy must have scored a hole in one. Just kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you now, because I know everyone's really interested to know. I know, I will never forget his name. His name was Kim Baker. If you're out there, mate, I created a whole exhibition based on him. I had a school reunion that was on, I don't know, 20 years after the incident. And I remember saying to all the girls, I go, do you remember Kim Baker? Oh, he was a good sort. I go, I lost my virginity to Kim Baker. And then I looked over and Jenny said, so did I. And it went around. The bloke did a lot of us.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so Kim Baker. So I created this this nursery rhyme. Sort of went like Kim Baker, the hymen breaker. And then I created a whole exhibition on how people lost their virginity, which was a very successful art exhibition, may I tell you. And it was highly successful. And I spoke to all these celebrities, Australian celebrities, on how they, like it was about awkwardness. So I associated it with prostate cancer and cervical cancer. So it was, and I called it the cherry pickers. And I did artwork. I did artwork and the quotes from the people that I interviewed, and I took a picture of them with a bowl of cherries and their quote, and it raised awareness for prostate cancer and cervical cancer, about getting yourself checked, because women are really good at that stuff. We've been trained from the get-go to go and get regular tests and the whole thing. You know, we're constantly feeling our boobs in the shower. We're constantly got our legs in stirrups. You know, every 12 months getting prodded and poked and examined. But we're
gonna get back to riding. I'm sorry, riding motorcycles.
Well, men, yeah, we will in a minute. But let me tell you, men aren't good at that. Men aren't good at that. You guys have been brought up to think, suck it up, mate, just be tough. So this exhibition was about growing awareness for awkwardness, because, it's awkward for a lot of people to talk about how they lost their virginity. I don't give a shit, but a lot of people do. And anyway, the moral of the story is I'm still looking for Kim Baker. He might be old and rich by now, and I need to find him.
Okay.
All right, so looks like you're going through a couple different bikes. I'm going to change the subject here. Sorry, folks. I think.
Well, we covered the sidecar.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah, sidecar we've done. Let's move on.
All right.
Okay.
Hey,
So-
you're good. You're good. We're just giving you a hard time.
No,
Yeah.
I did buy a bike a week ago.
That's what I heard.
Another
Yeah.
one.
Mhm. What you
Yeah, I
get?
heard that.
So I sold Wally. So because I had so much fun on the Scout when I was in America, and I had fun in Japan as well on a little bike. I came back and I thought, I just want a little run about the city and the whole thing. Now, I spoke to Indian, the Indian corporate in Australia really wanted to help me find a scout, and you're having technical difficulties. Is that right?
Just kidding.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Uh,
because I'm about to say what I got in the end.
Just keep on
Yeah,
going.
I
I'm kidding.
understand.
We're having some fun
Yeah.
with it. Go ahead. You
Look,
had fun with the
don't-
Scout?
because I loved it. But a Scout is still a sort of serious bike, 1200cc. It's still serious, and it's still serious money, even though I'm sure Indian would have helped me a bit. But I just wanted something to throw around. I wanted something around the 600cc mark. And the reason I went with this particular bike is because I know what the plans are for me in December this year. I am purchasing the new limited edition Sturgis Vintage Chief. Only 4 are
nice.
coming to Australia. Yeah. So 4 are coming to Australia. My name's against one of them. I've paid a deposit. So
Cool.
I'm still firmly entrenched into the Indian world. I've got Calamity Jane with the Sidecar that is going to be a show bike and crazy and lots of stories and just be that wild bloody thing that's going to be traveling around Australia and doing all that sort of stuff. Then I'm going to have the limited edition collector's item that believe it or not, I don't want to touch anything. Maybe the pipes on that I think could look better, but basically I'm leaving that how it is and just doing some nice little signature rides with that. So the other little bike I bought a week ago is a Royal Enfield Classic 650.
Nice.
And
Wow.
I took all the Royal Enfields for a test ride because I wanted a shotgun. I wanted that little bobber vibe. I took it all for a thing, and I said, "Oh look, I'll try the Classic. I may as well have tried them all." And hands down the Classic won. And I came back to the showroom. I said, "You're not going to believe it," because I was ready just to buy this shotgun. And before I said anything, he said, "I know what you're going to say, Chris." He said, "You like the Classic?" And I go, "Yeah. How did you know that?" And he goes, "Every Indian rider I've had come in here, or big cruiser riders, they all come in and have their eye on all the different Royal Enfields. And in the majority of cases, they all, once they sit on the Classic, they go, this is the one, because it's more solid. It's a solid, bigger feeling bike, which is what I'm used to. So I've got the teal green that's a replica of the one that they introduced back pre-World War II or something. I don't know the exact story, but I got that one. It's fabulous. Like I rode to the gym this morning. It's just one of those throw-about bikes that I can just have a bit of fun on. You know, I can pop up and see my mum and dad that are about an hour away without dragging out the big bikes and the whole thing. But don't worry, people. I'm not leaving Indian. I'm still a big Indian fan and an advocate for Indian motorbikes. I love them, and I can't wait to get my hands on this new Chief Vintage. How good do they look? What do you think? But I'm old school. I like the skirted fenders and all that. All the new Indians are beautiful bikes, but they're not my style. I like the old school look, and this ticks all the boxes for me. Do you agree?
Say it with me, Chris. Say it with me, Chris. Thunderstrokes forever.
Thunderstrokes forever.
On Friday, we will have a brand new shirt out.
Thank
It's
you
called
very much.
Thunderstrokes
I love them.
are over.
No, they're not, and they're not, and we're proving they're not because they've brought back, well, the Vintage Chief in the black and the red, the one that's come out, and there's a waiting list for those in Australia now.
Wow.
I don't know how many they're bringing, but when I clocked eyes on that 125 Sturgis edition, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need a 90-year-old billionaire that night. Let me tell you.
That's because he's already dead. And you already got
that bike is beautiful, but I won't. It's not till December, I think, that they come out here. But we're only getting 4 in Australia and 1 in New Zealand, I think.
Wow.
So speaking of New Zealand, do you want to hear what the next adventure might be for me?
What is it?
It was not. I'm heading to the
Great
South
tell.
Island of New Zealand in February. I'm going to be going to the Burt Munro Challenge and doing some appearances and rides there. We're currently looking at what it's involved with shipping my bike to the South Island of New Zealand, because there's some IMRG groups there that want to meet up. And so if Indian have got some containers going over and they can fit Calamity Jane and Sideshow Bob in, I'll ship the bike over. but it's oddly enough, it's more hassle to ship from Australia to New Zealand than it is from Australia to US.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's almost like, it's almost like 7 weeks. I've got to have it in the freight company, 7 to 8 weeks that it's gone.
Max
I
knows
need
about
7
that.
or 8 weeks to get it back. And it's a bit of a nightmare. So that may not happen, but I'm still going to go, and I will pick up. You know what? I'll probably look for a Scout sports Scout. It's got the bags and a bit of a windscreen, and that's if I can get hold of one of those, I will be doing 2 weeks in the South Island of New Zealand, incorporating the Burt Munro Challenge. So that's my next overseas adventure. Thought I'd say that while I mentioned it. Yeah, looking forward to that. That's February.
February.
Wow.
That's awesome. I would love to go to New Zealand. I mean, that would be freaking
Beautiful.
awesome.
I've ridden the North Island, but not the South. And the South is the one that is, they say, is just that little bit notch higher than the North. You know, the South Island is quite spectacular. So that's it. So where are we up to? So the Royal Enfield. So I've got that. So don't shoot me. It's just it's a fun little runabout for my little city rides and shopping, picking up blokes.
Looks like Will's divided is leaving us for tonight. He's got looks like he's tired. All right, buddy. Have a good night, brother. I know he's.
I have that effect on people.
No, it's
I have that. I wear them out.
He's probably working right now, actually.
Yeah. Who's Will's divided?
He's a rich guy in Florida.
Okay, I mean,
Oh man!
Yeah, and
Oh my!
Hey, he's actually going to retire soon.
yeah, he's retiring
He's
soon.
what?
Yeah.
I think he's only
Oh,
59
right.
now. I think he's only 59 though, Christine. He's not old enough.
Oh, right. Yeah, not really old enough, although, you know, there's enough of those young guys circling all the time, you know. So I say to them, I actually say to those ones, I said, you're too old for me. But that goes in reverse of what I'm really after.
Oh, jeez.
So do you want to talk about what I'm doing, what I'm planning this year for India?
Yes,
Australia?
please.
Yes.
So,
Tell us all about it.
So, as you probably know, the majority of big Indian events are independently produced around the world. You've got the Durango one, which Terry produces. You've got the Indian Riders Fest in Europe, which I went to last year. That's independently produced. And Indian corporate then usually come in and support it in some way. So this is a production that I am independently producing. It's the Australian Indian Riders Summit, and it's in an area we call the Snowy Mountains in Australia, in a place called Jindabyne, which is roughly halfway between Sydney and Melbourne. And this is where the majority of our riders, Indian owners, are. But I have got people coming from the West Perth, which is that's a long way. And I've got people coming from Queensland, all over Australia. So we've already cracked 200 registrations, which is phenomenal for us. And this will be the largest gathering of Indian motorcycle riders Australia has ever seen. I've got special guests. It's over a 2-day weekend. Roll in on the Friday. We've got the Friday night dinner and special guests and keynote speakers. And then we've got Saturday where we've got a 125-year anniversary ride. Now, the riding in this area is the best in Australia. It's spectacular. It's our snowy mountains, but at that time of year, it's summer. So there's beautiful mountain, beautiful roads. It is premium quality stuff. And so if no Australian has ever ridden there, they need to come to it anyway, because it has to be on your bucket list if you're an Australian motorcycle rider to ride. And it's going to be very successful. Indian are very supportive of it, so they'll be there with demo bikes and merch, and I've got a few vendors there that are Indian related, and registration packs. So I'm all up and ready to go. So that's what the Airs event's about. I've invited Mike Kennedy, who's thinking about it, because Mike's son-in-law is an Australian, so he's very familiar with Australia. And Troy, we're talking to Troy Herfoss as well, who is an Australian, and
Yes,
it's not racing season in November, so we're hoping he might be free. He lives in the Gold Coast, but we'd fly him down for just a meet and greet a day and fly him home. The only sticking point at the moment with Troy is he's doing these master classes or schools or something, so he's just looking at that timetable. So I've invited Riding Fish, of course, and you are all invited to come on over And
Damn right, let's do it.
yeah,
Let's
and there's going to be demo bikes there, so you get something to ride. But it is a bit of a way out from Sydney. It's about 6 hours south of Sydney, and
So
about 7 hours north of Melbourne.
How many Indian dealerships is there in Australia?
Well, there's probably about 8 to 10, a dozen maybe. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. Brisbane has one. All the major cities have one, and there's a few on the outskirts, in city outskirts. So, for instance, Sydney, we've got Zen Motorcycles in Sydney, and then we've got Newcastle Bryson's, which is about 2 hours north of Sydney. Then we've got a Wollongong, which is about south of Sydney. So there's 3 in the sort of a catchment area. And there's Canberra. There's a couple. There's Ballarat, which is Mark's one, which is beautifully decked out. I'd say the Ballarat dealership and Zen in Sydney are the ones that are decked out beautiful. But having said that, I haven't been to them all, so I shouldn't probably single out anyone unless I really know. There's a few down in Victoria. There's the Perth one, which I've never been to. Queensland. So yeah, so let's say a dozen that are sort of fairly Indian. And of course, like there's no devoted 100% Indian dealerships anymore that are just Indian. They're all dealerships that have other bikes in them as well. And I think that is the case the same in the States. I think there might be the one or two that's completely 100% Indian, but they're moving that. Well, they started moving that model to a couple of years ago when we lost our signature dealerships. We had one dedicated, to India, and that sort of finished a few years ago here. Yep. So there's a few dealerships that are going to be there, but I think the Canberra dealership is the one that's sort of setting up and will have all the merch tents and things like that, because they're the closest to that region.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great event, and I'm hoping to make good newsworthy stuff with it. I'll get a drone shot of all the Indian riders in Australia together. It will, as I said, it will be the biggest gathering that Australia has seen of Indian motorcycles and their riders as well.
So what is your camera bag setup? What do you use on your bike and stuff? Because your videos are pretty good, so I was just curious.
Oh, well, thank you. I learn every day with editing and stuff like that. But I've now got it. I'm down to really 2 cameras. That's it. Mm-hmm. I'm a DJI person. I don't like GoPros. DJI to me is the best camera. Their batteries last all day for me. Mm-hmm. I find them really good. So I have a DJI Action Osmo 5. I believe a 6 has just come out, but the 5 is fantastic. And I've got 2 of those because I have a backup one, because I'm so rough sometimes I lose them. They fall off. I don't put them on the clamp properly. So I've lost about 5. So I have a backup one. So I use the DJI Osmo Action 5, and that's mounted on my windscreen at the top and is on a rotating pivot. So I can turn it around to get the road ahead of me, or I can turn it around to me if I want to speak to the camera. I have got a microphone, but they give me the shits. They got all that frigging around. I just now wait till I stop, and then I lean forward and talk to the camera, because, I say to people, I film with purpose. I don't just put the cameras on and let them run and then have to sit through hours of boring footage. I look at my maps and I see, I'm going to be crossing a bridge or a river or something interesting in a minute. I get the camera ready, I press on, I grab it, I finish, I press off. So when I edit, the stuff that I download is pretty well all usable, apart from a bit of topping and tailing. So I film with purpose. And now the 360, I've got the DJI 360 as well. They've only got the one model out at the moment. And I have that on a stick at the front, and I've got a clamp at the back, which if I can be bothered, I'll pull over, put it on, ride for a bit, pull over, take it off, a bit of mucking around. But with the 360, I sort of treat that as a little bit of B-roll-y sort of stuff, because I work on a Surface Pro, a PC Surface Pro, and I work on CapCut as my editing platform. Okay. I used to be a Mac user, and I had Final Cut Pro. I paid for the version, and I did all my editing on a Mac. But living in corporate world, when I do conferences and in my day job, and I have guest speakers in, if they turn up with a Mac, I go, oh, for Christ's sake, here we go. There's going to be trouble, and there always is. You plug in the Mac in the VGIAs or whatever it is. There's always trouble with Macs. Same with what I'd send an email from my Mac and the attachments wouldn't work. And so I needed to be more robust in the corporate world and for things to work in all theatres that I might be in or conference halls. The PC works fine with me. However, so I'm fully 100% PC now.
Mm-hmm.
However, this PC Surface Pro 10, version 10, will not download the editing software for the DJI 360 camera.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm filming all the 360 stuff, I connect the phone, I connect the right perimeters I want, whether it's a real or the 16:9 ones, and I edit the 360 vision with my finger, like get it to, point in the directions that I wanted to keep, and I pinpoint it as I go. I save that on my phone or iPad, and then I just transfer that onto a USB thing and then put that into my file. And then when I edit, I add it all in. So I do all my 360 editing on my iPad or my phone, and then I save it once it's edited, because again, that footage I only film with purpose. I don't have a 360 because 360 footage is high res, big files.
Mm-hmm.
I just put it on. I might film for 30 seconds and then I turn it off. And then I look at it and I go, well, that's a nice little bit to add. It shows the background, things like that. So I only use those two cameras. And sometimes I might use the phone camera if I've downloaded everything. And a lot of the cases I don't think forward enough. At the end of the day, I've uploaded and I've edited the footage, and I've done no goodbyes or no, hey, press the like, leave a comment, all that shit you're supposed to do, which I forget. So sometimes I just get my camera, I hold it that way, and I just do, thanks for joining me today, and then I just add that rather than get the cameras out and things like that. So that's simple, because the other thing too, the more cameras you've got, the more footage you've got to go through. It's very time consuming, but because I don't spend days editing the last lot of, I do my editing on the day of the adventure. Yes. And I used to do 6 hours a night. I'm down to 3 or 4 now. So all that Route 66, I did an episode every night. Mm-hmm. So that was 3 or 4 hours every night that I was editing, and then you download it. And sometimes very slow, sometimes quick, most of the time slow. Then you upload it to YouTube, sometimes quick, most of the time slow. So, I'd get up at 1 a.m. and I'd look, I'd go, oh, Christ, it's still uploading. So my sleep was quite broken. I'm not a good sleeper at weight, but just back on Route 66 while I think about it. Mm-hmm. That first week, I was so jet lagged. I don't know. Whoever was riding behind me must have been thinking, what the bloody hell is this woman doing? I was genuinely falling asleep on the bike. I was dozing off, and those micro sleeps. It was very dangerous and very stupid of me. And I was riding with Riding Fish, so we were going fast. This is from Minneapolis to Chicago. It was far, and people behind me, and I was bloody so erratic, poor buggers. Anyway, but I did suffer jet lag quite badly this time for some reason, and then I discovered no-dos.
Oh, geez.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I started popping those like bloody cocaine pills. How fabulous. I discovered no-dos and beef jerky. I'd never had beef jerky before. So I'd drop a couple of no-dos. They said take 1. I took 2. I was highly wired. And then I'd be chewing on this beef jerky, bit of protein and salt. My God, I was on fire after that. Nothing could stop me.
So we're getting to the close part where we're at ask questions for Christine here. So go to the Throttle and Iron website. Right there it says throttleandiron.com/live, and there's a tab there that says ask the question, and we got 2 in already, and we'll start them here pretty soon. Just want to give some people some time to do it. Looks like a GIF event here. We got some Wheels of Time Divided did some GIFs. Gift memberships from let's see, Joey Willie 1278, Cedar Key got a gift. Looks like we had a couple people that were giving some gifts again. Awesome, thank you for doing that. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the podcast. We are so close to 15,000. 1,500.
Oh, good on you.
15,000. What's that? You put me on mute?
Did I? Oh, not me.
Oh no, it's good.
No,
We're at 1493. Let's get up to 15,000. I mean 15,000. I keep on saying I wish I was 15,000. We're getting close every
so
day.
do we.
Yeah, our views are that's pretty cool. Our views are pretty high. We just gotta get some more subscribers. As a lot of people would say, most of our people that watch our stuff are not subscribed, but they keep tuning in. Won't you just subscribe? That's the best way of doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And while you're at it, get on over to me.
That's right. I
I'll
need
show
to
you
get
some loving.
yes. And she's got a contact page. It's your. Oh, I don't know what to say that. Never mind.
Look, I'm on every bloody platform. Like I said, I'm a social media whore. You'll find me. Every road will lead somewhere where I will be.
So I got a question for you. So when you did every day at Route 66 and every day that you were in the United States, did you see an uptick in your YouTube stats and all that kind of stuff?
This is interesting. Yeah, look, I got a few more subscribers, but you know what I did, and I'll never do it again. I fell into the trap of doing AI thumbnails.
Okay.
And I reckon, AI images, and I live in I'm a sort of an artist, so I live in the arty-farty world a bit of authors and painters and the whole thing. There's a big pushback from that industry, the creative industries, about AI. People see AI and they completely disregard it. So, for instance, if they see an AI book cover, they won't even look inside because they call it slop, AI slop. If they see AI posters of something, they're so busy because look, I was dazzled by the whole AI thing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, oh my God, they're so good. But I feel that there's pushback now in people seeing AI graphic thumbnails, book covers, all that sort of stuff, to the point where people think, I'm not going to even look at that because it's all going to be done by a robot and it's not real.
Yeah.
So I have left. And for the first time, I used AI on my last adventure, and I actually thought the thumbnails looked really good, but I didn't get the views that I got for the time before or the time before that. So, look, I'm blaming AI, mate. It may not be that, guys. It may be that what I did was a bit shit this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get the odd troll, but I got reasonably good feedback, but who knows?
I think a couple things happened to it, and I think you sent me a link about the AI and that kind of stuff, and I watched that guy's video, and I think he had it right in the first place. It's like if the screenshot is unbelievable, it's like clickbait. You might click on it, and then you see a terrible video, and you're like, "What? That was crap," and that's what kind of hurt everything at the time. And I think it's exactly right. So you got to have a good performance on the other side of that thing, because I look at him and say, "Wow, that looks pretty cool," and I click on it, and it's just nothing like the freaking, the thumbnail.
Yeah, and I look at other YouTubers and I learn from them. I look at Jess, for instance, and I've watched how her thumbnails have evolved, and Itchy Boots and others, and they've evolved with. I could tell you, there's a formula now I see everywhere, and it's a picture of their face, maybe smiling, maybe looking confused, maybe looking angry. It's like a genuine picture of them with not much of a background, but a nice big chunky heading that says what went wrong. It doesn't even say sometimes. It seems to be a question that will make people go, oh, shit, I want to find out what went wrong. It's like where here's me trying to have, I rode from X to Z and I visited these places. I try and put too much in my titles where maybe I'm better off just saying, I hit the sand at 100 miles an hour. Or how did I survive the sand dune in Joshua Tree? ?
Well,
Maybe it's keeping it really simple,
Well, the good thing is in YouTube, you can actually do dual thumbnails now, and it'll pick, So if you go in there, you can upload 2 of them, and it'll test both of them, and then you can just cancel the one if the one's outperforming the other.
Okay, I've learned something. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can say,
But
I hit the sand in my face at 60 miles per hour, and bam,
Yeah,
they'll be like,
yeah.
they're waiting for that. But
Yeah.
you got to have that
Yeah.
in the video, or they're going to think it's clickbait, because the YouTube's been cracking down on
Oh,
that too.
yeah, no,
Mm,
100%. You've got to,
Yeah.
you've still got to, people will soon suss out if you're a fake or not, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm very conscious of, I'm very authentic. Like I tell it how it is. I don't mince, I just say my bit.
Yeah.
If you don't like it,
Mhm.
if you don't like it, don't watch. I mean, I do get the odd troll. I don't get many because I call them out. So they're a bit afraid of me now.
I think there's a lot of people afraid of you. But
I can tell you, I've got another story to share too. I
yeah,
want
go
to
ahead. Let's do
educate
it.
everybody.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I don't know if anyone saw my video. So there's this thing I've discovered. So outside of Durango, there's this. I went out to the Chimney Mountains, Chimney something. There's a big rock that looked like a chimney, and
Yeah,
all the
Chimney
ladies
Rock.
the night Chimney Rock, and all the ladies the day before were saying, "You've got to go out there because there's this Ranger Dan. He's hot as." So that was enough inspiration for me. Apart from seeing the rock, I needed to see this Ranger Dan, and Ranger Dan was hot. Ranger Dan had the cowboy hat, and I come back and I'm thinking, you know what? Everyone looks good in a cowboy hat, and I reckon I was hat fished, not catfished, hat fished. So that's my latest thing. You can get hat fished, not catfish these days. Because I did a little short video.
You did
about what
you
Ranger
did a
Dan-
short, you did a video on that one. I
Yeah.
remember that one.
And then I did one of myself. Obviously, I used AI to make Ranger Dan look a lot worse, as I did for myself. But to keep it fair, I did me looking pretty hot with a hat on, but me looking how I really look without the hat. So beware, everybody, of being catfished from here on in. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah, Drop Bear Moto says you can also do different titles too, but you can't do them at the same time as the thumbnail test. Ranger
I'll look
Dan,
into that.
dang it, I missed him. Donna said.
Oh yeah, he was hot. You're a lovely guy as well, and he loved Vegemite. So of the Vegemite people, I reckon I probably got about 60 people to try it, and the hard nose were really three. Was Bearded Bobber Jeff hated it. He was gagging for all the wrong reasons. And then Bob from BC Customs, he hated it. And then Ellie's husband, Ellie, Indian Ladies First. Oh, I've got a mind blank. Anyway, he wasn't a fan. So, but I reckon that's fabulous odds. And I was getting, and you loved it, Max. You didn't like it.
I hated it. Sorry.
Did I
Max,
do a test on you?
Max, I was going to invite you over for a little. We'll have bourbon and
thanks.
Vegemite. Bourbon and
No.
Vegemite.
Don't
That's
think so.
that's
No,
Max,
Chris, Christine, I'm sorry. I thought you remembered. I really hated it.
That's right.
Indian
Oh, yeah.
Fanboy says,
I'll have to go back on that footage. Okay, so 4 people out of the, let's say 60 didn't like it. But, and I didn't get any money for that. Vegemite didn't sponsor me or anything. I just thought I'd add a quirky element to the content. That was all I did.
That's his second bottle. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been eating the shit
Wow.
out of it.
I've got a few messages, people saying, found it on Amazon, I've bought it. So, yeah, I know. I emailed Vegemite and said, I bet your sales have gone up, but I haven't heard back.
That's where I got mine, was on Amazon, and I've let my kids and that
Yep.
try it, and
Yep.
so far it's all been positive. So
It's all
Yeah.
about the butter ratio, butter Vegemite. Yeah, it's lashings of butter.
Yeah,
And
Les
a-
Les
and a-
gave it to his
yeah.
kids and they all moved out, so that's a good thing.
But Les, I tell you, they'll get the officials onto you. Les, when you're making spaghetti bowl next, throw in a teaspoon, a blob into the meat mixture. Tell you,
I will.
Make a difference. Yeah,
Marty
I will.
says he needs to try it. I don't think so.
you do.
Yeah.
It's a little salty.
If I come back, I'll bring some more and do that again.
I
Very
think
well,
only
not
salty people eat that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
it enhances my personality.
It'll bring it out to you. Hey, just get some water and you'll be good. The question here is, how mad was Miss Chris when she found out I was not engaged? It's relevant. I don't know who
Now engaged.
now
It's
engaged.
now engaged.
Whose question is that?
Yeah, who wrote that?
Yeah. Oh, this is Mr. Buck Brown.
Look around.
Oh, Buck Brown. Well, I met Buck Brown when I was the trip before last at the Snowy Mountains Indian dealership. He rode up from, I forget where, like he rode a good few hours to come and say hello. And so Buck lost his first wife not long before that trip. They were both coming to meet me. And sadly, she passed away, but Buck still took the journey, which was lovely of him. And we've become good friends since. But since then, so a few years have passed, he's now engaged to another lovely lady. So congratulations. And I've always, I wished him all the best. So that was lovely news. So I think his comment might be a bit more tongue in cheek.
All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's see here. Marty's saying, "Hey, Chris, when are you moving to the USA?"
Yeah. Well, as soon as I find that billionaire and get a green card, I'm there.
All right, this one's from The Biggest Difference. That's a pretty cool name. Biggest Difference says you have seen between riding the U.S. and Australia. Ride prep the same? Question mark. Type of riding, trip, commodities, etc. So,
Okay.
Camaraderie.
commodities. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So the camaraderie in Australia is like America. Bike riders all around the world have a thing. I haven't seen any difference in that. Everyone looks out for one another, and everyone talks to one another regardless of what model bike you ride. It's instant. So that's the same around the world. The biggest difference between riding, I'll give you three areas. You've got United States, you've got Australia, and Europe. When I say Europe, I'm including Ireland, Scotland, Wales, UK. That's sort of Europe. America is built for whoever built the roads in America must have been motorcycle riders, because the roads are in top condition. The camber is beautiful. They're laid out lovely. They're well maintained. And the difference is you're on the right side of the road, which I actually find quite natural for me, even though over here we're on the other side. It was no problem for me to adapt. So the roads in America, to me, are the number one best riding roads I think you'll find in the world.
Okay.
Australia is fantastic. We're like you, big, wide open spaces, so lots of travel, but we've got nothing in the middle. In America, you're big, but everywhere there's a national park or there's something. You're full everywhere. I mean, you've got 300 odd million people. We have 27 million people in an area similar size. So everything's concentrated in America. So for instance, when I go to Walmart in America or a supermarket, you've got like 50 disabled parking spots. In Australia, we have 2. So you've just got much more of everything. There's more elderly in America. There's more disabled. There's more special needs. There's more weirdos. There's more of everything, normal people. So it's just so much, everywhere so concentrated and busy. Where in Australia, it's hardly, we just don't have that concentration of people. But we have the big wide open spaces, and we have a lot of distances where there's nothing much happening. Now in Europe, everything's close together. So big cruisers aren't the bike of choice over there. And I took my big cruiser, and I don't know how I did it, but it was the wrong bike to ride Europe. Yeah, that's why you see BMWs, Triumphs over there. They're more nimble, agile, because what you've got in Europe is little narrow roads, often cobbled. In the UK, for instance, you've got two-way roads with big hedges that run along, and really only one vehicle can fit in at a time. So when you're on a big cruiser, and it happened to me more times than I can count, I'd be riding along, I'm trying to see that nothing's coming around a hedge, and there might be a lorry driver or a truck driver. I mean, all size vehicles use these roads, and we're at a standpoint. I'm there, he's looking at me, and I'm saying, mate, it's not like I can take this bike in the edge, because I can't lose it down where the road dips away. You've got to reverse back to where there's a little bit of a pull-in area for me to get round. And that happens. And the other big difference is when I'm planning rides in Australia, I roughly think 100 kilometres equals an hour travel for me. So in America, 100 miles is 100 miles is sort of similar, a little bit longer. But in Europe, 100 kilometres or 100 miles is almost twice as long. It takes you twice as long over there than it does in our big countries, because we can get places quickly within reason on either good roads or space and distance, where Europe and the UK, and there's lots of little villages everywhere. They don't have the big, everything's very together. I mean, you can ride through 5 countries in a day over there. So that's probably the biggest difference I found, time in travel and the best roads. I mean, the thing with you riding motorbikes in Europe is what you get is the scenery, because there's a lot of mountain passes. It's extraordinary. So where America wins on the roads and the quality of the roads and the national parks and the beautiful, you could say Europe might win on some of the spectacular scenery. But you've got to go up mountain switchback passes to see, which is again why BMWs and Triumphs and those more sort of sport style bikes are more suitable.
Gotcha.
I mean, I did some very steep riding, technical riding in Europe. Switchback after switchback going up high mountains. It was hard work on that big Chief.
Yeah.
Hard work. Okay, and I can't see the questions, so you can fire them at me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Max. Do that one.
Recently, did Christine receive a special gift from Indian Motorcycles? Pray tell.
A special gift. I received a special gift from Indian Motorcycles.
Did you get one?
What, in
recently?
Australia?
Yeah, I guess. He's gone now.
Yeah,
So I
I-
can't follow up on it. But yeah, he said that it seems like Indian was going to give you a gift or something, or maybe it was at one of the events or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, they in Australia they did special packs to celebrate the 125 years, and those packs only went to hate this word, influencers or people that are quite active, supporting and being advocates for the brand. So I was one of those, as I bloody should have been. They didn't give me anything.
Yeah.
I would have been on their doorstep with a couple of Ivan Milat knives and had a go.
So what'd they give you? What'd they give you?
Okay,
What
so
was
it was a beautiful box, 125 years. It had a notebook in there, 125 years, some key rings, magnets, a cap, 125 years. So it was like an acknowledgement and a thank you gift for doing the work that we do. And so I know there's a few other Indian riders out there that vlog and social posts about their rides, and they got them as well. So that was nice of Indian. Yeah, Indian over here have as you will, like everywhere, they've separated from Polaris. So they've got like this dedicated team now here, and some of them have come from the Polaris and they're just with Indian. So there's the two I deal with over here, and a big shout out and thank you is to Christy and Callum, who are in the sort of the marketing area of Indian in Australia. And Christy organised these gifts for everybody. So thank you. And Callum looks after the dealers and sort of helps with the events as well. So a great young, enthusiastic team, which is good to see. Yeah, they're good people. Well, everyone. I mean, there's Glenn Granger as well, who looks after more of the technical specs of motorbikes and stuff, the stuff that I don't really understand. But they will all be at my event as well.
My wife has been very quiet tonight. You got anything to say, Connie?
You turned
Hey, Connie.
No, the mic has been on all day. I just had it off on that one part.
Hello, Miss Connie. How are
Yeah,
you? And you?
Christy, how are you?
Yes. So I rode a Can-Am the other day.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
I went out to this festival and I couldn't ride there, so I found a guy in Broken Hill
Oh,
that owned me here. So I took the Can-Am out to this festival, and it was muddy and
yeah, that
it
guy
was
looked really happy when you brought that back.
yeah, it was fun. It was tough work. It was fun. The toughest bit was because it was so muddy. The two front wheels, I was following the dry tracks where cars had sort of flattened, but the back wheel was right in the middle where all the piles of mud and slush were.
Yeah.
So I was fishtailing a bit, but I honestly didn't know if there was a better way to do it. I'm thinking, well, what should I do? Like, I honestly didn't know. Should I have got one wheel on the mud so the back wheel was on the solid? I don't know. So Don't know if you've
That's like me.
experienced that.
Like me coming out of the gas station sideways. I had a good time.
Body Snatcher's saying, what is the dates for your events?
The 20th to the 22nd of November.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there's a website that's got question and answers and all sorts of updates on it, and that's just airs, AIRS.blog. That's all it is. Airs.blog. That's the website.
All right, so let's see here. Who?
You know, he said he had a passport.
Oh no!
Body
Yeah,
Snatcher
Yeah.
said,
Body
"There's a
Snatcher's
passport."
interested. He's rich. He's got lots of money,
Lord.
and he said he's going to go to Australia. He said
Now, sorry, who is this again? And is he single? Sorry, who is
he's
this?
single. He goes to the gym every weekend. He's ready to go.
Oh, I don't want any. He's the problem, boys. He's another problem. I don't want anyone I don't want muscle man too fit, because I don't want them looking at my flabby bits and thinking, oh, that lazy bitch, she needs to go to the gym. I don't want anyone too super fit.
No, you know Body Snatcher. He's helped you a little bit on Route 66. He's very close.
Okay. When I see his face, I'd know him for sure.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, come on
Yeah,
over, Body
you would.
Snatcher. Yeah. Come on over. I've got about 40 spots left for the registration. So I'm hoping I'll get a sellout. That'll be good. 250.
I have never turned her mic off other than that one time when the echo was. So she thought through the whole freaking podcast that her mic was muted.
I did. Because I was hacking over here anyway, so.
Well, Chris, as always, it's been a great freaking podcast. It's been in many ways
Enlightening.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. Yeah.
I'll never go golfing again.
Yep.
That's true. I never golfed in the first place, and I certainly won't.
Yeah. There you go.
Or at least skip the 16th hole, I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, there's 18 holes. I think it was the
many
10th
yards was that hole?
hole. 11th. I don't know. It was an 18-hole golf course. I know that, but it was in a bit of a ravine thing, and there was some bushes around, so we were well camouflaged. But it turns out he did all the girls there. That was his favourite spot, as it turns out. The cherry picker did the whole class.
Oh my God.
What a legend. Kim Baker, if you're out there.
He said, if you could hook Ed up, I would get 100 memberships. Laugh out loud.
Oh man.
Damn.
We're
Looks
gonna
like
fly
Ed's going
Ed
to
to
Australia.
yeah. We can get those tickets. We're gonna
Putting Ed on blast. Damn.
Oh boy, I bet you Ed's just having a great time right now. Oh man, it's been a great. Let's see here. I'm looking for. Let's see. No more questions. We're done with that. I'm looking for the polls. What else we got here? I'm looking for top riders. Is what I'm looking for. Let's see who the number one person in chat was tonight. Let's see if I can find this here. Gold top riders. Here we go. Let's turn that sucker on. See what comes on here in a second. And see who's number one. And make sure I got it on the other screen too, because we got two screens going on. All right.
Body Snatcher said, "Show me the money."
Oh, show me the money.
No, that's my question. Show me the money, not yours, mate. That's my question.
All right, so we do have a podcast starting Sunday night. It will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if Max will be there. I don't know. I think Les will be there. I don't know. I just texted it today, or actually, I said yesterday. I haven't confirmed it, but I'm confirming it right now. We were going to do it on Friday night, but we're going to go to Jacob's birthday. So happy birthday to Jacob if he's listening. Yeah, that was Les's son.
I think he'll be 25. What, Friday?
Yeah.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
Friday.
Yep.
Happy birthday,
28.
Jacob.
Yeah. So Jacob's a pretty cool kid, cool guy, I guess you could say. And
He's still a kid to you, so.
yeah, yeah, because I'm so old. But anyway, he's a great, and he's excited. He's gonna be like, how old is he again?
He'll be 25, I think.
25, freaking awesome.
25.
20, he's 25, be 26. He was born in 2000.
Oh,
2000,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And let's see.
Oh my God.
So Sunday night we're gonna
2000.
be, yeah.
1959. Can you believe someone born in the 50s is
Hold
still
on a second.
living?
1959. Damn, I was born in 1972. I didn't think
Yeah,
anybody was.
Chris. 1957.
Woo! Wow.
Still too young for me.
Ditto.
Rune Seeker Moto has a YouTube channel. Check him out. I know Will's Debata was here earlier. Had a YouTube channel. Check him out.
Yeah, he has to get up at 4 a.m. He said.
Body Snatcher has a YouTube channel, and he's got an Instagram going on. He's trying to do some stuff there. Rumble and Growl, the one that keeps on doing the memberships. Foxfire Restaurant. Check them out in Illinois. We're definitely we are working on it. It's probably going to be in. I can't really say, but we're working on it. It's going to be great.
While we're doing shout outs, let's do this too.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman who went with us on the Route 66 tour, Fair Weather Rider. If you haven't tuned in to his stuff, you really should. He covers the whole part of Route 66 that he attended because he took off from Georgia, couldn't catch up with us in Chicago, and caught up with us like 4 days later. Chris, do you remember that? The guy that caught up with us on the Route 66 ride?
We were probably already gone, Max, because
Yeah,
we were only, 2
yeah,
days?
you guys were gone. I'm talking about Chris, the Creative Cruiser, because I know you
right.
saw him. Yeah, I know you saw him. But Fair Weather Rider, he's doing a whole series of videos on Route 66.
Oh,
So if anybody's
yes,
got a thing, check him out. He's doing a great job.
Cool. Body Snatcher said he was born in 1966. So
He's a youngster.
He's what? He's yes.
Yeah, he'll be
I've
60.
dated. I've dated guys born in the 60s. They want their mother too much.
they love their mother too much. What the hell?
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. So
All
that's
right.
crazy. All right. So we're going to be talking about the Jack Daniels ride. It is sold out. There is, if you want to try to go, in case people do cancel, there is a list. So you want to get tickets if you want to go. Unless you're some kind of special person, you can get a ticket from somehow. But right now it is sold out. It's going to be a hoot. I know they do a heck of a ride down there. Ed and Jeff do.
Mm-hmm.
Great freaking place to be riding in the first place. And this is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And this is what is it? October 1st to the 3rd, I think.
Yeah, 1st to the 3rd. I gotta say, it's a very well organized event. You know, the events each night, and then of course they have the gatherings in the morning when you go to ride. They have your little, I don't know, continental breakfast, right? Finger food kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jack Daniels puts on a really nice spread at the distillery.
Oh my gosh,
so
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. So yeah, if you have the chance to go, you should go.
And we will be releasing soon our Sturgis. We're gonna be riding the Sturgis, and it looks like I will be going to Daytona, and we'll be doing a podcast at the dealership at Daytona. Hopefully, I think that's where we're gonna be doing. That will be in March, and then we got plans for Sturgis, and we also got plans for what is that? The one where Durango. Hopefully.
Durango.
Yep. And that's the 3 trips that we are planning next year. I mean, there always will be a weekend here, a weekend there, that kind of stuff. But that's the major ones without doing our own vacation. I know Les is going on vacation. I'm going on vacation somewhere. And what we're planning on doing, if you want to ride with us, we'll have pages on our website where you can actually sign up and say you're going to go to Sturgis or you're going to Daytona. We will be, I think it's the Saturday, Sunday, we'll be going to, there's a couple rides. There's the ladies' ride will be on Sunday. They got the Indian ride on Saturday. And then either Monday or Tuesday, we will be going to Key West, all the way at the very tip of the point, and maybe spending a night there. And then we'll be riding our way back. and then we'll go to King of the Baggers at the end of the week, which is going to be really cool. And what's that, Max?
I'm glad you think that I don't do anything or why I don't go with you guys. I have my own trips, vacation planned next year. I'm going to a cruise in Alaska. That's one, and then I'm going back to Scotland. So that doesn't leave any money to go with you guys.
Well, we know that. Well, I mean, it's a kind of a thing. The reason why I'm saying it is because we were discussing it with Connie, because Connie, it's one of her bucket lists to go to the Keys. So I said, well, let's just put it all together because we can't go to Florida twice. So it's kind of a vacation for us. That's the reason why we're doing it. So I'm just adding the dealership and the Daytona on the same time. So, which will be
the Keys will be fascinating.
Yeah,
because I've watched Traveling Tall's thing down there. It'll be fun. You'll have fun.
He says, telling you now, I'm going to Sturgis 2027. Okay. Yeah, we are. If you want to stay with us, we're going to vet people. I don't know if Max is going yet, but we will vet people. We'll have either 10 people up to 10 people. We'll decide what kind of place we got, but we will have to get the place soon. So we'll be doing, reservations, and then if they cancel it, you've got to find somebody to take your reservation. So, or you're gonna have to go. So, either way,
I hope to see you guys. I hope to be there and I can catch up.
Let's do it. Come to Sturgis. Yep. And then Durango, we've never been there. I heard it's been fun, so we'll do that. And I think that's it. Unless I retire, maybe I'll retire next year. You never know. But it's been real. All right, so it's 2 hours on the dot. Christine, thank you for coming on here. Freaking
my pleasure. I hope to,
awesome as usual.
Maybe we can catch up after my event, or even do something. Maybe I could do something during the event. Maybe,
especially when the sidecar is done too.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The unveil. Yeah. So you
sure.
can see that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think that would be a great thing. It looks pretty. If it's going to look like that, that's going to be a badass looking.
That's it. That is AI and inspiration, but it's given me ideas. That's what I'm working towards.
Christine, you're the best. You're one of the best guests we've ever had. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And because I do this, my time is daytime, so we could almost I could do you a walk around with the bike and the sidecar and talk about what things I've done, because I can take the computer there. Anyway, work it out.
Yep.
I'll talk to Elon Musk about Starlink.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I'll get a Starlink sort of service. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. And look, I hope to be back again next year and catch up with everybody as many as I can. And I'll bring Vegemite and bring this old pussy, and we're off. We're off for a good time.
All right. One last thing before we go.
Let me turn the music down. Good.
Yeah, we got the one last demo day here at Indian of Northern Kentucky. Anybody who's local that has ever wanted to try a Pursuit, a Challenger, a Roadmaster, a Chieftain, if you ever wanted to ride a bike with the aero pipes already on it, there's 3 of them there. I put photos up on the Throttle and Iron website, which we couldn't get to tonight, so check them out there. But one more demo day tomorrow. I will be leading pack rides out. So mark your calendar. Try and get there tomorrow. Night.
Night. All right. Yes, that's Northern Kentucky
Namaste.
Ride, NKY.com. Check it out. Great dealership. Thank you, Rumble and Row. And thank you, Drop Bear Moto. We need to see you more often. We got to get you on here. You got a great show, too. You got great videos. We did meet him on Route 66. They were I think they were riding 2 Harleys though. We got to talk to them, guys. Just kidding. All right. Everybody have a good night. See ya.
Have a good night.
You got anything?
Night. Namaste.
No. I got the sudden urge to drive on the left side of the road. I don't know why.
You keep that.
Thanks, guys.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Night. Stay safe.